So it was really interesting to see the projects that came through on the Building Effectiveness Award. There was a huge range from all over the world, and what we found really hard was actually finding the evidence that made a building effective. We think that there's a huge opportunity that's being missed by clients and by building professionals to really measure the social, environmental and economic impact of our buildings. And it was really interesting listening to all of the judges come up with a shortlist. And I'm really pleased that we've ended with two projects that, in a way, are the least expected. You know, a lot of people would say an effective building is one that is highly productive or adds a huge amount of capital value to a client's portfolio. And the two buildings that came through weren't those buildings at all. One was a detention centre for young offenders in New Jersey. And the real difference that building made is it didn't treat offenders as criminals. It treated them as people who had a right to a second chance, and it also thought about the effect of the environment on people's behaviour. And I think that the relationship between behaviour and environment is one of the key design decisions that we need to go through. And the second winner, the Discovery Green in Houston, was a park. It wasn't a building at all, although it had some great LEED Gold buildings within it. And the idea that cities in America are trying to reinvent their downtown, and that an effective building is a building that actually engages with the outside world as much as internally is incredibly important. And I think the key for me is that the opportunity is for us to really measure the effectiveness of our buildings and not rely on a good photo as the reason why a building is great or not. And I know that isn't generally what people feel, but a lot of the time that's what we see. So going beyond the visible, getting involved in the invisible relationships that buildings engage with is great.